part of the build. I'm going to be putting the lighting underneath all the counter areas. It's probably the wrong way round to do it, but I kind of like want to get everything sort of tied off. So like the countertop's done, and then that's kind of like the kitchen bit done, and then I can move on to something else. Just so I've not got loads of different random things to do, because then it all gets into a big, massive, long list. And our little bits have arrived from, well, yeah, they're just from Amazon. Everybody knows Amazon. We've got 90-degree bends for the lighting under the counter, so it'll come to a bend, and then instead of kinking the strip, it goes through this little junction and then out. The channel that we cut into the bottom of the shelf, we are going to have to modify it slightly, because I didn't count in the fact that these would get wider than the actual strip itself. We got some wires so that we can go from LED strip and then like throw a joint or a cupboard where it's not going to be seen back to LED strip. We've got 5-meter rolls, some 4-pin wire, which will also go into these things, and we've got some resin, some 2-part epoxy resin for kind of an experiment that we're going to do later. I'm going to see if I can actually make the floor change colour, so I'm going to make a smaller version of what I actually plan to do. See if it works it'll work in theory, see if it works in practice. If it works in practice, then I'll upscale it to the whole floor and try and get some colour changing elements in the floor using LEDs and fibre optics. So you just have to take off a little bit either side of the groove, and then that will fit in straight in. And then we'll be able to bend that round there without kinking it up like it is here, because that just looks messy. And done a little bit of chiselling, and now that fits in there. We've also done this one. There is also another 90 up here, but I don't think I'm actually going to be able to do that one, because the groove sits right over the panelling, because I didn't really take that into consideration. But it'll be hidden, and then that's just like a dead end, so we'll snip that off. I really was hoping that this would be a simpler job. Well, it is simple, it's just really, really fiddly. And these little 90-degree connectors, I've had to go through and modify them, because the actual connection in the product itself is a bit pants, because, well, you can just kind of pull them apart. Because this bit's too thin. And with the adhesive on the back of the light, it makes it a little bit thicker, and then by the time that you've pulled the adhesive protection off, it then actually sticks inside there. So just by putting them on, putting the lights into these connectors, my connections were stronger than the actual product connections, so I've had to go through and modify each one as I put it on, which is a complete pain in the arse, but it will stop them coming apart again at a later date. You know, quality control and all that. It's a little bit low, to say the least. I've had a slight change of plan for this little bit. I'm going to go from here, run it in there, and then flip to having the light run along this bit, and then fill it in with like a clear bit of rubber, so that it'll hide that ply and like diffuse the light. the reason why I didn't originally put the same groove as I have here underneath this bit is because when you're standing outside and you're looking up, that's like what you see. So I wasn't going to put lights along it originally, but then if you're standing down here and the lights are there shining up, then you still get the light and you can't see it. Once again, another change of plans. So you've still got this one under here, under there, which you can't see from the front because we've got this lovely little black edge. There you go, black edge on there. These ones change colour like the bottom ones, but they're just on different runs. So this run does the wine rack along there to the end. This run does that cupboard, the underside of the cupboard, all the way along that cupboard, and this bit. I'm just going to put a little section of wire between here and here so that it will do the back edge of that counter from the underside going up, so that you won't see the light from the outside. You can see just down here in this cupboard, this is the little sensor, and then up here is the control box for this one, and the sensor's there. So I'm going to have the sensors like visible to the remote, so I'll be able to go like, oh, I want that one green, and that one in there to be like blue. So depending on where you point the remote will depend upon what colour what changes. Overall, there weren't too many problems running the under counter lighting. Quite a straightforward job. We did have to alter a couple of the products, the actual product itself, because I myself was able to get a better connection than the actual connector itself. So we had to slightly modify those as we went along wherever we used them, just in generally improving the product to give a better suited, more sort of vibration friendly, long lasting quality. It was fiddly, but it's done. They are plugged into an extension lead at the moment, because we don't actually have any electrics because the batteries, well, yeah, we're just using external electric at the moment because it makes sense. But I like that colour and those taps.